The Kelly Clarkson Show has seen its fair share of surprising moments, but what happened when country music legend Reba McEntire appeared on the show recently took everyone off guard. What started as a friendly conversation between two powerhouse vocalists turned into an unexpected clash that ended with Reba walking off the set in frustration, leaving Kelly visibly shaken and the audience in stunned silence. Reba McEntire, known for her fiery personality and decades-long reign as the Queen of Country, was invited to discuss her new music project and upcoming tour. Kelly Clarkson, a longtime admirer of Reba, seemed genuinely excited to have her idol on the show. The energy was positive at first, with both stars sharing laughs and reminiscing about their shared experiences in country music. However, things took a sharp turn when Kelly brought up a sensitive topic: Reba's past relationship with Narvel Blackstock, who also happens to be the father of Kelly's ex-husband, Brandon Blackstock. Kelly attempted to transition into the topic carefully, but it quickly became apparent that Reba wasn't comfortable discussing it on air. As Kelly mentioned how complicated their family connections were, Reba's expression shifted from cheerful to visibly tense. The audience sensed the change, and the room's atmosphere grew thick with awkward tension. Reba, who has always kept her private life guarded, subtly tried to steer the conversation back to her music, but Kelly pressed on, hoping to lighten the topic with humor. Kelly, known for her open and candid interview style, made a joke about keeping things in the family, referring to their shared ties to the Blackstock family. Unfortunately, what Kelly meant as a light-hearted remark struck a nerve. Reba's eyes narrowed slightly, and her posture stiffened. The audience gave a hesitant laugh, unsure if it was appropriate to follow Kelly's lead. Reba then responded sharply, saying, "Kelly, I don't think family matters are something to joke about." Her tone was calm but firm, signaling that the conversation had crossed a personal boundary. Kelly, visibly caught off guard, tried to smooth things over, insisting she didn't mean to offend, but by that point, the atmosphere had changed entirely. Trying to recover, Kelly quickly shifted gears, attempting to return to Reba's tour announcement. But Reba wasn't ready to move on so easily. She leaned forward and said, "I came here to talk about my work, not my past." Her words carried a chill that left Kelly momentarily speechless. The studio audience grew silent, sensing the rising tension. Kelly nodded nervously, replying, of course, I completely understand." But Reba's expression didn't soften. For a few seconds, the only sound in the room was the faint hum of the studio lights. It was clear that the damage had been done. Kelly attempted to laugh it off, but Reba remained visibly upset. As producers behind the scenes began to exchange worried glances, Reba tried to compose herself. She adjusted her microphone and took a deep breath. Kelly attempted to regain her composure, too, offering a compliment about Reba's new single. But the warmth between them had vanished, replaced by palpable discomfort. Then, the situation escalated further. When Kelly mentioned Brandon Blackstock's involvement in Reba's management years ago, Reba interrupted sharply. "Let's not bring him into this," she said with a forced smile. Her voice had that unmistakable edge that only a seasoned performer can deliver when trying to maintain professionalism under pressure. Kelly looked down briefly, realizing she had crossed onto unwelcome territory. She tried to pivot again, asking about Reba's legacy in country music. But Reba, still visibly irritated, gave short, curt answers. What was meant to be a warm, nostalgic interview had turned into a tense standoff. Behind the scenes, producers reportedly urged Kelly through her earpiece to move on quickly. However, Kelly's natural curiosity got the best of her. She brought up how tough it must have been for Reba to stay strong during public family issues, intending to praise her resilience. But that comment was the final straw. Reba paused, looked directly at Kelly, and said, "Kelly, you have no idea what that was like, and I'd appreciate it if we could talk about something else." Her tone was sharp enough to silence the crowd. Kelly, visibly embarrassed, apologized immediately. Yet Reba's patience had run out. Reba then removed her microphone and said, "I think we're done here." Kelly tried to stop her, pleading, "Reba, wait, please, see, I didn't mean to upset you." But Reba stood up, adjusted her jacket, and walked off the stage without looking back. The audience gasped as she exited, leaving Kelly alone in disbelief. For several seconds, Kelly stood frozen before trying to turn the moment into humor. "Well," she said awkwardly, "that wasn't how I planned this interview to go." The audience gave an uneasy laugh, but the moment remained painfully awkward. Producers quickly cut to a commercial break to salvage the situation. During the break, sources saw Kelly was visibly shaken, repeatedly apologizing to her team and asking if she had gone too far. Reba, meanwhile, reportedly went straight to her dressing room, refusing to continue the interview. Security and production staff were seen outside her door, trying to calm things down. When the show returned from break, Kelly addressed the audience briefly, saying, "Sometimes conversations go places you don't expect. I have nothing but love and respect for Reba." She smiled nervously, but fans could tell she was deeply affected by the incident. Social media exploded almost instantly. Clips of Reba walking off the set spread across X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Fans were divided as some blamed Kelly for pushing too hard, while others argued Reba overreacted to an innocent comment. Within hours, hashtags like #RebaOnKelly Show and #RebaWalksOff began trending. The incident became the talk of the entertainment world, sparking debates about boundaries, professionalism, and how personal questions should be handled in talk shows. Later that evening, a representative for Reba released a short statement saying, "Reba McEntire appreciates Kelly Clarkson and wishes her nothing but the best. However, certain topics are private and should remain that way." The statement didn't mention whether Reba planned to return to the show. Kelly Clarkson's team also responded with a carefully worded message, expressing regret that the conversation took a difficult turn and emphasizing that Kelly has immense admiration for Reba's career and contributions to music. Insiders later revealed that the show's producers had warned Kelly before the taping not to bring up personal matters related to the Blackstock family. However, Kelly, believing her friendship with Reba could withstand a little banter, took the risky one that clearly backfired. Entertainment analysts began dissecting the moment, calling it one of the most uncomfortable talk show interactions in recent memory. Some compared it to other infamous walk-offs in TV history, saying it would likely become a viral clip replayed for years to come. Fans of both singers hoped the two would reconcile. Many noted their long history. Reba had been a mentor to Kelly during her early years in country music, and the two had even performed together on several occasions. The clash shocked those who admired their bond. As days passed, rumors swirled about whether the segment would ever air in full. NBC officials reportedly debated editing or shelving it altogether due to how uncomfortable it appeared. But when the clip finally aired, it drew record viewership for the show. Reba later appeared at another press event, where she briefly addressed the situation. She said, "I love Kelly, but sometimes you just have to walk away when something doesn't feel right." Her words confirmed that the tension was real, though she avoided further details. Kelly, during a later episode of her show, made a subtle reference to the incident, saying, "I've learned that sometimes, even with the best intentions, you can step on someone's feelings, and that's okay. We learn and move forward." Fans appreciated her humility. Behind closed doors, sources claimed the two eventually spoke privately, clearing the air. Though neither confirmed this publicly, insiders said the conversation was emotional but respectful, showing both stars wanted to move on without lingering resentment. Despite the controversy, both Reba and Kelly continued their successful careers. Reba's tour tickets sold out within hours, while Kelly's show saw a spike in viewership, proving that drama often fuels public curiosity in the entertainment world. In the end, the clash between Reba McEntire and Kelly Clarkson served as a reminder that even close friendships can hit rough patches, especially under the bright lights of live television. Whether intentional or accidental, the moment became a viral milestone, one that fans won't forget anytime soon. In the days that followed, talk show analysts and entertainment journalists continued to discuss what had really gone wrong. Some claimed that Reba had been under stress due to her upcoming tour schedule, while others argued Kelly should have been more mindful, Given the delicate nature of Reba's history with the Blackstock family, the debate became one of those rare moments where fans took sides passionately, dissecting every facial expression and word exchanged during the interview. Online communities began posting slowed-down clips, analyzing Reba's tone and body language to determine the exact moment she lost her patience. Some viewers insisted Kelly's joke was harmless, but others believed it struck at a deeper wound, one that Reba had worked hard to heal privately. The internet's obsession with the confrontation made the clip viral across platforms, garnering millions of views within a matter of hours. Meanwhile, entertainment insiders leaked that Kelly felt devastated by how the incident unfolded. One source close to her said she couldn't sleep that night and felt she had let Reba down, especially because she had always looked up to her as a mentor and friend. Kelly reportedly reached out to Reba multiple times after the show, but her calls initially went unanswered. Reba, on the other hand, was said to be equally upset but for different reasons. Those close to her revealed that she didn't intend to make a scene, she simply needed to step away before saying something she might regret on live television. Reba's old school, one insider shared, she believes in keeping private matters private. When that line is crossed, she'd rather walk away than argue. The network executives overseeing the Kelly Clarkson Show were initially alarmed, fearing the backlash could hurt the program's reputation. Instead, the episode became one of the show's highest-rated moments in months. People tuned in not for the music, but for the tension, the raw emotion, and the unscripted authenticity that unfolded on stage. By the end of that week, talk shows like Entertainment Tonight and Access Hollywood were running the clip on repeat. Pop culture commentators described it as the most shocking talk show moment since Wendy Williams' live meltdown. Others noted that the situation showcased the unpredictable nature of live interviews, even between friends. Kelly's loyal fans flooded social media with messages of support, praising her for handling the situation gracefully and apologizing immediately. Meanwhile, Reba's fans defended her boundaries, applauding her for standing her ground and refusing to let anyone pry into her personal life. It became less of a celebrity feud and more of a cultural debate about respect and privacy. Interestingly, a few weeks later, a behind-the-scenes staff member revealed that the conversation had gone off-script. The show's producers had originally planned to focus solely on Reba's career highlights and her upcoming projects. Kelly's unscripted question about family was completely spontaneous, catching both the producers and Reba off guard. Industry insiders commented that moments like these are what make daytime television unpredictable, sometimes magic, sometimes messy. It's real emotion. One executive said, "People crave authenticity, even if it gets uncomfortable. That's what keeps viewers engaged." The Reba Kelly episode proved just that, becoming a pop culture moment frozen in time. Eventually, Reba broke her silence during a radio interview. When asked about the walk-off, she chuckled lightly and said, "You know, sometimes you just need a breather. I love Kelly to pieces, but that day, it just wasn't the right topic." Her calm, good-humored response reassured fans that there was no lingering bad blood. Kelly, touched by Reba's public acknowledgement, mentioned on her show the following week that she was relieved and grateful that Reba was understanding. "I've learned a lot about communication," she said sincerely. "Even when you love someone, it's important to know when to stop talking." The audience responded with applause, signaling collective relief. Over the following months, both artists continued to rise above the controversy. Kelly released a heartfelt acoustic performance of one of Reba's classic hits, calling it her tribute to a legend. Fans speculated it was her subtle way of showing love and respect to Reba without making a direct statement. Reba, meanwhile, used the incident as a teachable moment during a later interview, saying, "Boundaries don't mean you're angry, they mean you're protecting yourself." Her comment resonated deeply with fans, many of whom praised her for addressing the issue with maturity and wisdom. It became one of her most quoted statements online that year. In time, the dramatic walk-off faded from headlines, replaced by new celebrity controversies. However, that moment between Reba McEntire and Kelly Clarkson remained etched in pop culture as one of those rare instances where raw human emotion pierced through the polished surface of daytime television, reminding audiences that even stars have limits. Ultimately, The story of Reba McEntire walking off Kelly Clarkson's show became more than a viral moment and became a lesson about empathy, timing, and understanding. It showed that even between friends, conversations can go awry, but mutual respect can always bring things back to peace. Both women moved forward gracefully, proving why they're admired not just as artists, but as strong, authentic women in the entertainment world. As time passed, many fans started revisiting the friendship timeline between Kelly Clarkson and Reba McEntire, piecing together how close they once were. Reba had supported Kelly during her early years in country music, even inviting her to perform at major award shows. Their onstage chemistry had always been admired. That's why the walk-off moment hit fans so deeply. It wasn't just TV drama, it felt like watching two family members have a falling out in front of millions. Entertainment podcasts began dissecting the emotional undertones of the incident. Some hosts pointed out that Reba, as a seasoned performer, rarely showed her emotions so visibly in public. Others noted that Kelly's vulnerability afterward revealed how much she truly cared. Listeners described it as a clash of hearts, not egos, where two powerful women struggled between professionalism and personal pain. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Kelly reportedly sent Reba a handwritten letter expressing remorse. According to insiders, Kelly's note was heartfelt and lengthy, apologizing for unintentionally bringing up a topic that caused discomfort. Reba's response, sent days later, was equally gracious, a short, simple, but forgiving. It read, "All good, kid, just next time, let's talk music." That private exchange helped thaw the tension between them. Though they didn't immediately appear together in public, both stars began mentioning one another positively in interviews again. Kelly's team even hinted that she hoped to invite Reba back to the show someday under better circumstances. Fans were thrilled at the idea of reconciliation. In the months following the controversy, Reba used her platform to speak about emotional boundaries during interviews. "People sometimes forget that entertainers are human," she said in one podcast. "We smile, we sing, we perform, but we still have our tender spots." The comment resonated with many fans who admired her ability to stand up for herself without bitterness. Kelly, meanwhile, spoke on her show about the importance of communication. She explained that being a talk show host meant constantly balancing curiosity with compassion. "Sometimes you get caught up in the flow of conversation and forget how deep a question might hit," she said. The honesty earned her praise for accountability and emotional maturity. The story of their clash eventually evolved from controversy into a powerful example of forgiveness. Entertainment reporters began framing it as a healing journey rather than a feud. Both women continued to thrive musically. Reba's tour sold out, while Kelly's show ratings soared. Ironically, the incident that once divided them ended up strengthening their legacies. By early the following year, fans were delighted when rumors surfaced that Reba might return to Kelly's show for a surprise appearance. When Kelly was asked about it during an interview, she smiled and said, "I'd love nothing more than to share the stage with Reba again, at this time with no awkward moments, just laughter." The comment sent social media into a frenzy. The buzz around their potential reunion reignited fan excitement. Talk show clips, memes, and throwback performances featuring the two resurfaced online. Many viewers reflected on how genuine their bond had once been, with some calling them country music's favorite duo. The internet once again celebrated their friendship instead of the fallout. Finally, months later, the moment everyone had hoped for came true. Reba McEntire returned to the Kelly Clarkson Show for a special live episode. The announcement itself sent shockwaves across social media, instantly trending worldwide. Both women agreed beforehand that they would only focus on music, positivity, and the strength of their friendship. When the episode aired, the tension of the past was nowhere to be found. Kelly welcomed Reba with open arms and said, "It's so good to have you back." Reba smiled warmly and replied, "You can't get rid of me that easily, honey." The audience erupted in cheers, and the two hugged, symbolizing their long-awaited reconciliation. They spent the segment laughing, sharing stories from their tours, and even performing a duet that brought the crowd to their feet. The chemistry, once strained, now felt stronger than ever. Kelly got emotional during the performance, saying afterward, This means more to me than I can explain." Reba smiled knowingly, patting her shoulder and saying, "That's what music does, it heals." The episode was hailed as a redemption story across the media. Headlines read, "Reba and Kelly reunite from clash to harmony." Critics praised both women for their professionalism and grace, turning what was once a viral controversy into a masterclass in forgiveness and resilience. Fans online called it the best comeback moment in talk show history. In the aftermath of that heartfelt reunion, Kelly and Reba continued to collaborate occasionally, proving that time and empathy can mend even the deepest rifts. The two even teased the potential joint project, sending fans into overdrive. Whether or not that collaboration happens, their restored friendship became a beacon of hope in an industry often fueled by drama. Looking back, the incident that started as an uncomfortable moment evolved into a story about respect, humanity, and growth. Reba McEntire walking off Kelly Clarkson's show was never truly about anger. It was about drawing lines, then finding the courage to cross them again in the name of friendship. In the end, both women reminded the world that grace under pressure is the true mark of greatness.